Alright, now this is kind of a piss poor camera, and you're hearing a lot of noise from that fan because it's hot in here. Let me lift this up just a little bit, get it off the ground. Alright, so that's where we're at with that. Let me see, we'll just stay here for a few minutes while I do what I'm trying to do here. Maybe. Alright, so here's what I'm doing so far. Besides working with antiques, what I did temporarily, I took 3 9-volt batteries and tied them together. So I still have the 9 volts, but I have a little bit more oomph as far as amps. So that's kind of where we're at there. So I can turn this on and off, and we see we do have power. It's not full, but it's there. Now, the switch down here, I went through the whole switch, redid it, and I also put on there center off. I relabeled it center off, charge, and run, because the way that it was set, you know, if somebody decides to hit it one way and I don't know, have the charger on it and it's on run, I don't know if it would cause damage. I just did it so it's labeled, hopefully no confusion. I still really don't know what this board is, the one right underneath the fuse board, because this fuse, which is powered off the switch, goes into this thing. So I really don't know what this is. I mean, it kind of reminds me or resembles some type of a charging unit, but I don't think that it is. I don't know. I'm puzzled. I am. Now we do have a lot of plugs here that we have to finish finding out where they all go, but this one goes to that module that had the rusty crystal and the bad switch that was so rusty that it wouldn't work anymore. And this one plugs into that. Now this is the only thing here that I found that matches that plug. So that's where we're at there. There are a few other plugs. There's another one back here that's underneath. And I don't want to take the top off, this part off just yet, because I have the plug in there. And I'm not going to make an extension cable to try to figure it out. Here it is. I have no idea where this plug is. This one, not sure. And you know, I got the top was on it when I got it, but you know, nothing worked. The power over here that operates the 2 drive wheels are the same power and the same plug. So what I had done was I marked one of them red and the other one blue, because if you were to get them unplugged at the same time, there's a good possibility that you can mix them up. Those plugs should have been reversed on one of these. That would have prevented it from being plugged in to the wrong side. But when they're putting these together, they just kind of wire them up, and that's what happens. Like, for instance, the plug down there to the horn, the air horn, the wire was so short that I couldn't move this board. So I cut the wire and I put a double plug on it so that they can only go in one way. This one has that plug on it, that one has that plug on it. So when I plug them back in, there's no mistake on how you plug them in. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the searchlight that's around here someplace, because this is just sitting on here. I don't want to put it on all the way until I finish, because I got to do some fiberglass work on this as well. This is a real project. It's a pain in the ass project. But you know what? I don't mind too much. I really don't. As long as they don't rush and they let me work at my own speed, I'm okay with it. Alright, now, I took that light off because I was doing something with it. Oh, by the way, here's this. Now, a lot of this, here's the fan plug. A lot of this, I use these to determine what was up here. For instance, that piece that was just holding my camera, this piece, the modifier, the voice modifier, I go by how the Velcro is on, so that means that goes there. The piece that goes here, I guess Paul was telling me it's an old piece, and that was on here. That's about the size of a cigar box, but probably about 1.5 inches high. And it's a 331, I think, some type of a transceiver. And that went on there. But for that, I mean, I don't know what else, wherever else goes. I have to look at everything to figure it out, to kind of get an idea of where things are and where they're not. Now, we have a stereo over here, but we haven't got a head to the stereo. Now, I don't know if they're just using this as it is, and they don't need the head. I don't know. But this is all we have, this and a remote. And there's an amplifier behind the main board. But again, none of this was hooked up, none of it was plugged in. I don't know what works, what doesn't work. So I'm kind of in the dark here, because I'm going through all this stuff and trying to figure out what the hell's going on at the same time as I'm trying to figure out why it isn't working or is working. There's a headset. There's a remote for the stereo. I'm thinking stereo, seeing it's a Sony. There's another headset. Got a couple wires here. We got these two things. This one, Silver Series, wireless, SX3 transmitter. Then we have this one, which is another one that Paul was talking about, the 151. We got some paperwork here, but a lot of it is just block diagram as to what plugs into what. But that doesn't help. This is there, hasn't been used, but there it is. Couple of nut bolt screws. I mean, they saved the little crap that you can buy anywhere, but the things, the charger, finally got the charger, and that was a fiasco trying to find that, and the two batteries. I got two batteries for it. Now, where did I put the light? I know. It's around here someplace, guys. Let me put this phone in my pocket. Watch out for the noise. Yeah. Let me turn these off. Okay. Charger. As I said earlier, I'm kind of glad that I put this little bench in real quick, because it's coming in really handy when I'm working on Coastie, because it gives me the room. Right now, however, I'm working on a couple of laptops. But, oh, here it is. Here she be. So this goes in here. The plug is here to hold it in, but I just want to kind of get it hooked up to see if it works. So this should only go in one way. There's the tip. There it is. Come on. I guess this isn't going to work until I put the screws in it. Hold on a minute, guys. These screws are not going to be the screws that are going to stay in here. These are just temporary, giving me something to hold this in place until I get underneath it. Should put this down while I'm doing this. Okay. Alright, let's plug this back in. I'm not going to tighten it down like I said with the plug. I just wanted to make sure that everything is okay. I should put some tuner cleaner in that, or contact cleaner, whatever it is they're calling it nowadays. Okay. Back in the days, it was called tuner cleaner because the old TV channels got there, the tuners. Or you get all kinds of scatsad after a while. And you had to do that to clean it. And then you call out a tech, and he'd come out and he'd open up the back of the TV, he'd squirt the shit out of it, and then charge you. Basically a tuner. Here's the wire, one of the wires. I guess this is actually close to a little box about the size of an ice cube. Why I have this up a few inches right now is because I'm going to crank it up a little bit here. First I'm going to connect the battery, even though I shut it off. We're going to there's the battery, there's the plug, there it is. Put this in here. Come on, be nice. I seen it go down and I heard it. But I don't know where the hell it went. I got a feeling it's in this here wire bin. But I don't want to move a whole lot of stuff because it shouldn't be that far out of the way. These I just stuck in there. And this was under. This was the part that was forward. It was too big to just fall to the bottom. Let's stand up and take another look at this. Oh, wait a minute. What was that I just heard? Aha! Okay. Well, come on. What do you expect? You know, it's not like a hospital floor. Okay, so here's this side. Here's the other side. And I think I can probably soak these and get these cleaned up a little bit. I don't think it's quite as bad as it looks. Let me get these out of here. Or try to anyway. Okay. That goes into there, and this. Now, everything, oh, that doesn't look too healthy. I'm going to have to look at that under a a glass. You see how that's all kind of like lifted? That could be rot rust. These are traces. Underneath that color, there's copper. You know, now copper as a rule isn't going to really rust up, but it's a strong problem. Why does not? It's got to be the right plug. I've been using it right along. Now it doesn't want to fit. There it is. Okay. Alright, so that's on. Now we're going to turn on the board. And sometimes when I do this, something else starts running. So let me turn that off for a minute. Do you hear that? Doesn't seem to be the wheels. Sounds like a small pump or something. Anyway, that's where we're at there. So, let's get an idea here what's going on with the remote and this puppy. See, the light's on. I didn't turn it on, but it's on. Let's turn this off for a minute. That light is on. The remote's on. Now, all I'm doing is turning the remotes on. This looks like it says squirter is up, L lid is down. The lids, if that's the case, are not working. The beacon, which is that, but it doesn't really want to turn off. It slows down a little bit. The sirens are not hooked up. Let me get up here. I'm sorry, guys. Alright, the red light's on, the green light is on. What's running? Probably now, those are probably the wheels. Yeah, I put it forward, down. So right now they're running, and I don't think they should be, but they are. Lights. They go bright and dim, but they don't go on and off. And the beacon is still turning, as you can see. This one here says bilge and spot. So I'm thinking there's got to be a transceiver someplace that activates this stuff. This one here says sleep, whatever. This one here says siren, and right, well, I'm going to think it's a lid, which is, I'm thinking, the right eye. And they're not working at all. Beacon, which is the yellow one, and blink. Well, you just get to go faster if I turn it up, the beacon. If I put it down on blink, nothing happens. Put it back up, it doesn't completely shut off. The squirter, again, that's down there. I think if I turn, right now I have it off. I think if I turned it on, it may work. But I got to go by sound at this point. And when I got that going, now I think that sound I'm hearing are the wheels turning. Yeah, let's do this. Hold on. This is rated for 1,500 pounds, so we should be okay. And the paracord that I'm using is rated for 750, so we should be okay with that as well. Alright, so let's get down here. Now I did put some yellow paint stripes on the wheels. See it? There's another one on that one over there, but I don't know. I think these are the wheels that are turning. Yeah. This one is turning faster than that one. That's reverse. That's reverse. Now they're both going the same way. That's reverse on that one. That's a little faster on that one. That's this one. Now that's going. Now it's going that way. So this thing here seems to be taking the right wheel, the one farthest from us, and changing the direction. And then it puts it in sync with this one when I bring it down. When I bring it up, it shuts that one off and puts that one into a different direction. Now that slows it down using this, and that one here slows this one down, but it really doesn't do anything for reverse. So I don't know how this thing's supposed to work, to be honest with you. Now over here we have more, which has nothing to do with those. And also eyelids. So that's what we got going under there. So let me turn this back off for a minute, and then I'm going to put it back down a little bit. And then we have the power ratings of the lift, deadlift, but again, you don't want to take chances. I don't want to see it fall from any great heights. But without having this lift, this would be a real bitch to work on. Alright, now it's on. I'm going to bring it up just a hair. There. That's the way I know that it's going to turn. Now we still don't know what's going on with these lights, because we have nothing to turn them on and off with. Right now the remote's off. All the lights inside here, there's a row of lights. They look like square LEDs. Maybe seven of them or so. Those are all on. The fuses are all good. I just don't know. Okay, we have the running light up here. We got the red and the green. The light back here isn't working, which it probably wouldn't. I think, I'm not positive, but I think it may be disconnected, which it is. It is right here. So that's not a big problem. So one of the problems is the plugs and all this junk that we have here that's either outdated and they left it in there instead of pulling it out. You know, if it doesn't work, take it out of there. Why leave it there? That's crazy. You know what? Especially if they're a transceiver, because even though it doesn't work or it may not be hooked up, doesn't mean that it's not going to interfere. Alright, so anyway, let's turn this back on again. Okay. Let's see what the lids do. Let's put these both in the center. The lids don't seem to be working. However, wait a minute. There is another plug in there. Let's turn this off for a minute. I think there's another plug there that's not hooked up yet. And these lights should go on and off. They shouldn't be on when everything else is off. Now there is another plug under here. It's a flat type. Here it is, right here. But I don't know where it goes. I have no idea where it goes. I have nothing here that I can see that matches this. And I mean, I had this off here, so this was just all, you know, open for me. But I don't see anything. I mean, not unless I'm just looking by it, you know, but I don't see anything in here. Let's turn the power off for a minute. There. I don't see anything here. This relay down there. I don't see any plugs for that to plug into. So the only thing I can think of, there's got to be another module. Because where's this go? So this is what I'm kind of up against, Paul. I really don't know what the hell is going on here. I got plugs that have no homes. You know, I don't know if it was a new piece or an old piece. Those plugs probably operate the servos for the lines, and maybe even, wait a minute. Let's think about the stereo for a minute. There it is. Okay, so that goes into the stereo. Hold on a minute. Let's go back over there. Let's double check it. And then I'm going to get some cleaner. I got some contact cleaner. Electronic contact cleaner, whatever you want to call it. So I will probably end up spraying a lot of these. Hey! These contacts, but this radio is all rusted as shit. I don't even want to open the radio. Okay, which way does this go? And it looks like it goes this way. Oh, that's the way it looks like it goes. Yeah, it should go this way. There it is. Okay, so that goes into the radio. Alright. The radio that has no faceplate. It has a CD player, only because you see it. And it has a button to operate the CD player. But as far as anything else, there's no door or nothing here that I can see. Not unless there's something hiding that I don't see. Let's get this key. Slide this kind of in place for a second. Okay. This, for now, is going to be fine hanging. It's not that I'm talking any distance here. Okay, so with that being said, what's this remote for? And do we need the battery? Probably so. Let's put it on run. You see, this isn't going to tell me anything because I have no way of playing anything. walk around the other side. Come on. Let's see if I hear anything over there. There's nothing here to indicate if it's working or not working. There's no lights. I would think that it should have a head unit. Don't ask me where that is, but it doesn't have one. There's nothing here. Reset CDs. I mean, how are you going to do any of this if you can't see the display to tell you what the hell it's doing? There's the cover. Pop down so that it doesn't get destroyed. But you have to know how to use it. It has two moving parts. You have to lift the block and then you have to put it down. So this thing has been abused. Now I don't even know if that. Oh my God! No wonder this isn't working. I should have checked this first. I should have known. Every time I open up something, it's another disaster. I mean, come on. Don't anybody think this remote is probably going to be shot, because it's not just the batteries, it starts to rot everything that's connected to it. Can you see that? I'll open it up just to see if we have any salvageable parts, but I can't do that today because I got some computers over there and I do not want to get this on any of those. However, I am curious. Let me look at a little screwdriver.